Hello and welcome to Bahrain Now, your source of local initiatives, happenings, talents, and trends. I'm your host, Khalid Hijris, here to walk you through our exciting lineup of segments and personalities from around the Kingdom of Bahrain. So don't go away, we'll be right back. The Public Affairs section of the U.S. Embassy in the Kingdom of Bahrain arranges a variety of U.S. government-sponsored exchange programs that link Bahrainis and Americans, which include the Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange and Study, the YES program. The program is vital to expanding communication between the people of the United States of America and the partner countries in the interest of promoting mutual understanding and respect. And we are pleased to be joined here in the studio by Mr. Nicholas Von Merten, who is a Deputy Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and two participants of the YES program, Ma'souma Boushahri and Abdulrahman Yassin. Hello and welcome.
Hi, wonderful to be with you.
It's wonderful to have you guys here. I'm very excited to talk about this program. Now, Mr. Nicholas, to start us off, I'd like to ask you, the Public Affairs section offers a variety of exchange programs. What can you tell us about the significance of these programs?
Well, these programs are really important to building the mutual understanding, as you mentioned, between the United States and Bahrain. The YES program in particular focuses on supporting students in their academic journey, giving them that opportunity to learn and study at a U.S. high school, but also to experience some of the extracurricular activities, things like sports or music or drama, while also having that experience of living with a U.S. homestay or host family. And at the same time, our Bahraini participants can be youth ambassadors for Bahrain, talking a little bit about Bahrain to audiences across the United States.
I think that's a brilliant way to get the youth engaged as well, to give them kind of like a slice of life in something that is a very universal experience, but can also be very different depending where in the world you experience that, something like high school. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about, like, for example, the program's inception and what its primary aims or achievements are?
Sure. So the program started here in Bahrain in 2008. And since then, over 180 Bahrainis have successfully participated on it. It's a one-year exchange to the United States, very much focused on a strong academic component and leadership, building participants' leadership skills and their public speaking skills, and of course, their English language skills. But as well, it's really that chance to learn a little bit more about the United States because of living with a homestay family. You get to experience U.S. holidays like Thanksgiving. And so this really builds that kind of people-to-people ties between our two countries.
Brilliantly said, and I think a lot of us are used to seeing stuff like Thanksgiving, for example. A lot of us are used to seeing it on television. I was very fortunate to have experienced Thanksgiving, and I think it's something that you really need to experience it for yourselves. And to be part of a family as well, I think that really gives you that very direct connection with them. And I mean, as you guys will probably have a lot to tell us about, how was your experience with this program? Could you tell us a little bit about where you stayed and what your experiences with the families were like?
Okay, so I spent a full academic year in Austin, Texas. I stayed with a lovely family, the Byrne family. They have become my second family, truly. I'm so grateful that I was able to meet a family that truly, with their support and their warmth and their love, I was able to successfully complete my year.
Very brilliantly said. And what about yourself?
I stayed in New York, Niagara Falls to be specific. I stayed with the Pruitt family. Extremely loving, welcoming family. They, as soon as I landed, they welcomed me as part of their family. I got to experience a lot of things with them, travel with them, just an overall very, very welcoming experience. And they made sure to make me feel like I am part of the family culture, and I'm part of the family events and everything.
It's brilliant to see that no matter what, especially when you put people in situations, for example, like living together, it doesn't really matter where anyone's from or what the differences are. The way that you guys are talking about these people, it is very easy to see that they have become family to you, which is really incredible to see. It shows both growth from their side, that they're able to take in someone from, you know, across the world. and treat them like family, and the fact that you guys were also able to become part of that family. Now, America is a huge country. Each state, I mean, I suppose, is huge in itself, and then to have, you know, that amount of states under like one sovereignty is just like mind-boggling. What is something about American society that you guys learned that you think you're going to bring back to Bahrain with you?
They're very generous, in my opinion. Like, I found that wherever you go, they were very welcoming, very generous, they had really good souls. And for me, being so far away from my family, I really didn't feel like I was going from one culture to another, because we're also, as Bahrainis, known for being very generous and kind, and the similarities are very, very apparent.
I would say they have this very strong willingness to learn, and when you are willing to teach them as well, and teach them how your culture works, the different you know, like environments that people can grow up in, how you grew up back at home. They are very accepting of it, and they're very respectful, and they make sure to be inclusive to you and your culture as well. I would say as well that they were surprised, like not surprisingly, but they were extremely nice, like to the point where it was a bit surprising to me that, you know, random people can be this accepting and this nice even when they know nothing about you.
I think there are a lot of groups of people in the world who get that like reputation for friendliness, and I think Americans tend to not get the spotlight on as much, and yet they are incredibly friendly people. When I was there, I had no issue making conversation with anyone. I will always remember the first time I was on one of the local flights. I didn't know how to work the light switch, so I was struggling for a bit. And I hadn't spoken to the woman next to me at all, and she just switched it on, gave me a smile, and you know, there you go. And it was like, you can make conversation with anyone, you can make friends anywhere, and it's, like you guys said, when you spend time with someone like that, you get to realize that we actually have a lot more in common than we think. I mean, ultimately, I mean, that's, and for a country with America, especially where it's like a melting pot of so many different people, and we're not just talking different nationalities or different ethnicities, even different states can be very different to one another, even if the makeup of the people are similar. You know, you have so much diversity, but it's the way that they all come together. Now, Mr. Nicholas, Bahrain and the US have always shared like really great relations across all levels. And the programs that you offer further build on promoting mutual understanding and respect. So can you elaborate on the importance of different nations having such programs?
Well, certainly. Indeed, the US and Bahrain have fantastic relations across security and defense. We have really strong economic ties, and something like the YES program is really instrumental in building that mutual understanding between our people. And as you guys have just discussed, you make those, you know, people-to-people connections, and really Masuma and Abdul Rahman are fantastic youth ambassadors. But the YES program is also really a sign of our partnership with the Ministry of Education here in Bahrain. They help promote the program, they help with the selection process, and they assist Bahraini students before they depart for the United States.
Brilliant, and again, it's really great to see. Usually, especially when you think of programs like this, you're usually thinking higher education, you're thinking research. But high school is a very formative part of our lives, and I think it often gets overlooked simply because for a lot of people it tends to be when you start making decisions, as opposed to it being an actual pivotal moment. And so to have the experience to do stuff a little bit differently, and I think when you're quite vulnerable, quite frankly, and you have an exchange where you can have that people-to-people connection, I think that is a great way for fostering understanding and connection. And now educational and cultural exchanges are essential to achieve further bonds and understanding, as we've discussed. How does the American Embassy continuously come up with, for example, different initiatives in order, because I mean, I can imagine it's quite overwhelming having to come up with so many different ideas, right? So how do you guys keep on your toes in order to develop more ways to keep our different people connected?
Well, certainly, we want to respond to the needs of Bahrain, and that's what this program closely does. It aligns with, you know, the leadership skill, developing youth leadership skills, and you certainly see it here on display with you know, the wonderful stories that Masuma and Abdul Rahman have shared. But as well, we're looking at other ways that we can build those kind of partnerships, and that can be in, as you mentioned, kind of the university space, and also in the professional space as well. So we have several different exchange programs across all of these fields, and they are, for more information, you can find that either on the U.S. Embassy website, or it's also available on our Instagram page, which is U.S. Embassy Bahrain.
Brilliant. And now moving back to the participants, I think that you said it excellently. They have become excellent ambassadors for this program. I mean, the way that you guys are, even just smiling at the mention of it, is, I think, a great indicator. So I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be watching this, or they're going to hear your experiences, and they themselves might want to give, they might want to give the program a whirl. So starting with you, Masuma, what would you say to such people?
I would first off want to express how amazing it is that there's so much support. So whether you are about to apply or are applying, you have support from the U.S. Embassy, and you have support from the U.S. Alumni Club as well. It really is just one big family. So you are totally supported, and there's a lot of help, there's a lot of resources, and I really think you should take advantage. It's a fully funded academic year for you to just learn and grow. And I really highly encourage the Bahraini youth to take advantage of it.
Brilliantly said. And you, Abdulrahman?
I would say it's extremely worth it, and it's an opportunity that you can't let go of, because I kind of divide my life into two parts: the before the YES program and then the Abdulrahman that's afterwards. And that transformation that happened because you're thrown into an environment where you don't know anyone. You have to become extremely malleable with your personality and how you take on different challenges, that you're forced to kind of depend on yourself a lot more and learn new things and just grow up faster, just to be able to, kind of navigate through that experience of being alone. You're 16 or 17 years old in a different country, but again, the kind of life lessons and life experiences that I've gotten over there have completely transformed my life, transformed my personality as well. Went from being a lot more introverted to way more accepting of people, way more outgoing, and just like I would say to anyone, and I've always said this to people who've asked me about the program, it's so worth it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything, to be honest.
I think you guys have definitely done a brilliant job, because I don't think anyone has sold me on high school as much as these two just have. I think that is an amazing way to sum it up. I think you guys have clearly learned a lot. It's clearly touched you both. And I'd just like to ask you both as well to share anecdotally, like, what was one memory of spending time with those families, or in your high school experience, that really stood out that you're going to carry with you forever?
I think for me, this is a bit like niche, but my host family were obsessed with Valentine's. So I remember I woke up once and everything was laid out, and it was so pink and red. It was really cute, and my host mother told me, like, you're an American now, and like we celebrate Valentine's in this household. So it was really nice. I never thought that this was like the thing that would stick with me, and that I'd come back home and like celebrate it with my family as well.
Brilliant. Yeah. I like that. That's very unique as well. Yeah. It's a really nice way to get the whole family included as well. And I really like that line, you're an American now, you're going to be celebrating this. And what about you, Abdulrahman?
I would say the road trip we had with my host family. So we took a road trip all the way from New York State to Florida. And if you know, it's a big distance. But that road trip really bonded us together a lot more. It made us go through things that usually, when you're stuck in a car with someone for that long of time, you have to find conversations, talk about different things, and it just made the relationship extremely strong. So that vacation in general was just extremely nice, and it made me feel more connected to them.
That's incredible. I'm really happy that you guys managed to experience stuff like that. I mean, again, it's just clear that just shows the extent of connection that you have being included in a family holiday, or, road trips. I mean, I can barely stand the car for 5 minutes, let alone going on like all the way from like New York State to like Florida, which is no easy feat, I can't imagine. Now, Mr. Nicholas, what other programs are open for people to take part in that are similar to the YES program, and what do they include?
Sure. So the YES program is open right now, and so we would certainly encourage people who are interested and who wouldn't be interested after hearing these two successful stories to apply before the October 12th deadline. But we also have other exchanges at the university and at the graduate level and at a professional level. These are offered throughout the year, and you can find out more information on our Instagram page, U.S. Embassy Bahrain.
Brilliantly said. And just before we wrap up, is there anything anybody else would like to add?
Sure, Khalid, really appreciate this opportunity to share this experience and highlight these two outstanding Bahraini youth to your audience.
Brilliant. Thank you guys so much. And a huge thank you as well to the American Embassy and to the government of the Kingdom of Bahrain for offering such amazing opportunities for both of our people.
Absolutely.
So ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more here on Bahrain Now. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what's going on beyond the studio in the following report.
Matar Jewelers introduced its new identity in a grand ceremony, embracing a new chapter of elegance and sophistication, yet committed to its journey and heritage. The opening saw the attendance of a number of ministers and high-level officials in addition to dignitaries.
The idea behind the rebranding or the re-strategy is how to get Matar or the brand and natural pearls to the rest of the world. The idea was to create something, a brand that's very simple, that's inspired by the wealth of the sea, and that's why you see the new blue in our logo, and to make it as simple as international jewelry brands all over the world. So we realize we have such a great wealth here in Bahrain that is natural pearls. A lot of people have been asking and trying to get their hands on natural pearls jewelry, maybe not knowing where to start from, and this is where we come to educate them and then to basically get all of these beautiful treasures to the rest of the world.
Matar Jewelers opened its store with a new look and welcomed its customers with exclusive and treasured pieces. The opening showcases Matar's gems that rarely make an appearance, making the event a truly special occasion for pearl and jewelry lovers. Matar Jewelers has become a tourist attraction, as Bahrain was always known in the region as the hub for natural pearls, as merchants from across the world would travel to the island and acquire the precious gems obtained from the seabeds.
International Music Festival is an important season for us at the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities, where we present music in different forms, be it classical, contemporary, or traditional. This collective program is a representation of a program that has been set forth by our team in response to feedback we've received in the past, and we always seek to present to the public new shows. Diversity as well is a key element in the programming of this festival, and we hope the public enjoys what we have to offer in the coming weeks.
Our first event is at the Bahrain National Theatre, where we have Fatma Saeed and the Cairo Orchestra and the conductor Nader Abbasi. Of course, completing the festival, we have different genres, different collaborations with different embassies. We've got the Italian, the German, the French, the Korean, and the Chinese. We also have different collaborations, different genres. We highlighted the importance of the local talent, musicians and singers, where they're highlighted in a platform on an international level. Of course, the Bahrain Philharmonic Orchestra are on October 4th at the National Theatre as well. And then we have the Bahraini local artist, the pianist Noor Al Qasim, who is going to have a beautiful concert at the Cultural Hall on October 6th, where East meets West, and it's all about the sea. And it's a new, an important idea that she has been working on. It's an interesting project, and it involves the Fajri as well. So I'd highly recommend people attending and looking and listening to such a performance by a local talent. Of course, I can say that she's on an international level, to be honest, and we're very proud to have her within the festival itself. We look forward to welcoming all of you in. The fact that it's the 33rd edition, that means it's successful, it's moving forward, and we will just keep going and introducing our culture and experiencing different cultures by collaborating with different embassies as well.
The Embassy of Indonesia in the Kingdom of Bahrain hosted a National Day reception to mark the country's 79th anniversary of the Independence Day of the Republic of Indonesia. The event saw the attendance of the Ambassador of Indonesia to the Kingdom of Bahrain, as well as more than 450 guests from government officials, members of parliament, diplomatic corps, and entrepreneurs.
We are already since 1984 opening our relations with the government of Bahrain and government of Indonesia. So I hope a lot of the potential between two countries, especially in the economics as well as in the social culture, is going to be developed further. And inshallah, next year there is a lot of progress on the reopening of the Gulf Air direct flight to Jakarta. So it's going to increase our business, also Umrah travel, as well as for the cargo for Indonesians and Bahraini goods to be use the direct flight of the Gulf Air to Jakarta. Inshallah, that our relations later on we're going to be further strengthened and deepening in all of the kind of sectors.
I'm delighted tonight to be at the ceremony of celebration Indonesian for the National Day of them, and we are very happy to be here, and we have a collaboration between business between Bahrain and Indonesia, and we are thinking and planning to go ahead with many opportunities business between Bahrain and Indonesia, and it's a great pleasure for us as a business sector to have a mutual collaboration with Indonesia, and it's new challenges for us, and we are wishing both Kingdom of Bahrain and Indonesia all the best in the business sector together. Thank you very much.
The Kingdom of Bahrain and Indonesia enjoy deep-rooted relations that spans over 40 years with cooperation in various fields and sectors. Indonesia is well known for its diverse culture, ethnicity, and religious background, living side by side in harmony.
Bahrain Cinema Club hosted a presentation of the regional workshop Broadway au Suite on international co-production, which is a life-changing residency opportunity for cinema professionals from Bahrain, which is offered by the French Embassy.
This residency program is meant for Bahraini and Bahrain-based filmmakers and producers working on their first feature movie. They will receive training in co-production, co-development strategies, and script writing to help them to approach the market with their first feature film project. The purpose of this residency program is to acquire new skills, to learn how to pitch a project, a feature film project, and to be able to eventually at the end of the workshop to be able to find financement and co-development opportunities for a feature movie. There would be a lot of international experts involved in filmmaking, in script writing, in production, in co-development strategies from France and worldwide that have a lot of experience in the cinema industry.
Since founding the Bahrain Cinema Club in 1980, the club aims to support the filmmakers in Bahrain and the filmmaking industry. And therefore, we have welcomed this unique initiative with the French Embassy.
This selective hands-on program focuses on script writing, co-financing, and co-development strategies alongside French and international experts. The opportunity, fully sponsored by the French Embassy, is a tremendous professional springboard for up-and-coming Bahraini cinema professionals to help them find financing for a first film, strategically approach the market, and build their network.
The session was quick and all the presenters explained everything, the requirements clearly. As a beginner filmmaker here in Bahrain, I wanted to extend my knowledge in the filmmaking field. That's why I wanted to join this amazing experience. And all I have to do is prepare my papers and hopefully get accepted.
All residents from the GCC countries can apply. It can be either Bahraini talents or Bahrain-based talents. That has to be a duo with one filmmaker and one producer working on their first feature movie.
The workshop is part of the long-standing cooperation between France and Bahrain in the field of cinema, focused on capacity building for professionals in the film and media sectors, and the sharing of expertise between Bahraini and French professionals.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, you can always reach out to us on our social media accounts shown below. We love to hear from you. Until next time, this was Khalid Hijris. Good night, and God bless.